All right, guys. So the next team we're going to be talking about on our tournament chances is going to be North Carolina. And we're going to be discussing come next month, come March Madness, the NCAA tournament, if I think North Carolina is capable of making a run or not. We'll look at their resume, talk about their schedule a little bit, and then talk about their outlook. So before we get into that, I think North Carolina, first impressions, I think they do have the talent to compete with anybody. Obviously led by Armando Bacot, RJ Davis. They were both on that championship run team a couple years ago. And they've also added some solid pieces here. You've got the Notre Dame transfer. You've got Harrison Ingram. So it's not just them two, not just Davis and Bacot. They actually have some depth here, and we'll go through their schedule here in a minute. But they do have some questionable losses, but also some pretty good wins. So let's go ahead and look into it a little bit. All right, so you can see they're 22-6 overall, 14-3 in the conference, kind of fighting for that last one seed along with a few other teams. You know, you got Arizona, North Carolina, Kansas, Tennessee, maybe Marquette if all breaks right. But North Carolina does have a shot at that, but we'll see if it happens. All right, so first, let's get down to here. All right, so one of the more questionable losses here, Villanova in overtime. All right, I know that was in the Bahamas, so that's kind of a weird situation. You don't know how good everybody's going to be just yet. And it's in the Bahamas, so you're going to get weird results. You know, it's not a home game or an away game necessarily. Villanova's not very good, long story short. That's not a good loss, but wasn't overtime, beginning of the year, so I'll give you some freedom there. I'll give you a pass. But you do have a win over Tennessee. All right, that's a top 10 win. Like I said, they're kind of competing with them among other teams to get that final one seed. Tennessee at least will be another 2 seed in the tournament. But big win there, 100 points, a lot of points scored there for North Carolina. They can really fill it up. All right, you've got a loss to UConn, but it's a single-digit loss. So that's not bad. Losing to one of the number 1 seeds by single digits, not really bad. That's a result of schedule and tough competition. Sorry for popping that up on your screen. This keeps going up. All right, next up, you got a loss to Kentucky. All right, Kentucky, we know has the talent to make a run this year. They haven't quite lived up to that ability every single game, but Kentucky is very talented, so that's not a bad loss, single-digit loss to Kentucky at a neutral site. You've got a win over an Oklahoma team by double digits, so that's another tournament win. Let's see, Pitt, Clemson. All right, both of them kind of on the border. Clemson will be in for sure, so that's a tournament win. Pitt kind of on that cut line, border bubble. Got a win over Syracuse, similar situation, bubble team territory. Wake Forest, they should be in. You got a 20-point win over them. That's a good win right there. You've got a win over Duke, which is a top 4 seed probably. Good win always against Duke. You've got a loss versus Clemson. Now, that is a what's the word I'm looking for? Tournament team here. That's a tournament loss, so I'm not going to knock you too bad for that. Again, they haven't just gotten blown out by any tournament team, so that's good. You're going to lose games from now and then. You're probably not going to go undefeated. Barely anybody does. So I'm not going to knock you too bad for that loss. Now, this Syracuse loss, that one's a little questionable there. Now, it is at Syracuse, but this is closer to losing to Villanova than any of the other losses have been. All right, and then to close out their season, all right, look, you got NC State, Notre Dame, both not very good, but you get a chance to get another win over Duke, which could propel you to that 1 seed line, depending on how everybody else does. But overall, though, I think North Carolina, depending on the draw, obviously, depending on who's in their region and, you know, who's on their side of the bracket, I think they are capable of making a Final Four run, if not further this year. They have the talent, but also looking at Villanova, looking at Syracuse, they also are not unbeatable. You know, I mean, they might drop a game to a low seed. It's possible. It's happened before. So don't be surprised at that. But they are talented enough, I think, to play with anybody in the nation. And any given night, I think could beat anybody. So I think North Carolina could make a run, but will they? We'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think, North Carolina? What is their ceiling come tournament time? Can they make another Final Four run? Are they going to get dipped before the first weekend's over? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.